In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to run private health ads, specifically what's working right now in the space and a few things that every agent should know before they spend $1 on Meta. We help insurance agents run their own paid ads across pretty much every vertical: private health, final expense, term life, ACA, mortgage protection, annuities, the whole gambit. We even run ads for businesses outside of insurance, but today we're going to focus on private health because that's where we get a lot of questions about and a lot of activity from. By the end of this video, you'll have 5 practical tips you can take and run with, whether you decide to handle this yourself or you decide to bring in a team to do it for you. Quick context so you know this just isn't theory. Right now we manage over $120,000 a month in ad spend across many accounts. Some are top producers in their company, some are IMOs, FMOs, some are just newer agents building something of their own. The principles are going to be the same either way. Let's dig in. Before we get into the tips, it's worth talking about why agents are running their own ads in the first place. If you don't understand the problem, the tips don't really land the same way. Most agents have been burned by lead vendors. You buy a lead, you call it, and the prospect has already talked to 3 or 4 other agents that day, or the lead is 2 weeks old or longer, or the phone number's wrong, or worst of all, you're paying a premium for a lead that's been resold a half a dozen times before it even hits your screen. When you run your own ads, that whole problem disappears. The lead is generated in real time, it's exclusive to you, and your name and information are on the ad. So when the prospect picks up the phone, there's already a layer of recognition. You're not the 5th call they're getting that day, you're the 1st. Now, it is possible that some prospects click on multiple ads. That can happen. But generally speaking, when you're running your ads, you know for a fact they clicked on your ad and that lead is going to you alone. That's the entire reason this model works. And it's why our top agents have moved away from buying leads almost entirely. All right, 5 tips. Stay for number 5 too, because it's the most important and the biggest drag for agents running ads. Tip number 1, qualify the right people on the front end. This is one of the more common mistakes we see. An agent runs an ad, casts a wide net, and then gets frustrated when half the leads don't qualify for what they're selling. That's not the lead's fault, that's the ad's fault. For private health specifically, the leads worth chasing are people earning real income. We typically anchor around 6 figures or more because that's the threshold where private plans start to make sense over something like a marketplace plan. If income isn't being filtered on the front end, you're going to spend a lot of time on the phone with people who can't afford the product. A little bit of health filtering is fine, but don't lean on it too heavily. People aren't always honest about their health on a Facebook form, and Meta has rules about what you can ask, so just be careful with that. Income is often a good lever, or price anchoring. Explain how much the plans are going to cost. One thing worth flagging here, because it catches new advertisers off guard, insurance ads fall under a financial services category on Meta. That means less targeting flexibility than someone running ads for, say, clothing brand. You can't target by income directly inside the platform anymore. So that filtering has to happen in the ad copy, in the questions on the form or on the landing page if you're using one. So just plan for that up front. Tip number 2, test, and then test some more. Sometimes a first ad works right out of the gate. We've launched plenty of campaigns where the very first creative was the winner, but that's not always the rule. The rule is that the ad you think is going to crush is often not the one that actually does. And the only way to find your winner is to put real money behind a few different angles and let the data sort it out. Many times we've launched ads that said this is going to be great and it completely falls flat. So just know it's not always what you think, it's what the customer or the prospect wants to see. What we recommend to every agent we onboard is launching with at least 3 to 5 different creatives, different hooks, different angles, different formats. Some agents do well with a video of themselves talking to camera. Some do well with a static image and a strong headline. Some do well with a testimonial type ad. You don't really know until it's running, and then you can see the results. Offer language matters too. The way the product is described changes everything. Saying private health insurance hits differently than saying an alternative to the marketplace. Same product, different angle, often very different cost per lead. We have a library of tested ads we pull from for our agents, and even with the library, we're constantly rotating because what works in March might not work in July. Things change, we always have to be evolving. Quick note here, there are basically 2 ways to capture the lead once they click. A meta lead form, which lives inside Facebook and Instagram, or a landing page hosted somewhere else. Both work, both have trade-offs. Lead forms tend to be faster and easier for the prospect. Landing pages tend to give you more control over the experience and the data you collect. We use both depending on the agent and the offer. Don't get too caught up in picking a side. Test both, see what your audience responds to. Tip number 3. Be realistic about budget. This one matters because we see agents try to run ads on $100 a week and then get frustrated when nothing happens, when their calendars aren't full of appointments. That's not how Meta works. The algorithm needs data to optimize. The more it gets, the smarter it becomes. The less data, the more it's guessing. Our recommendation across the board is at least $500 a week in ad spend, which works out to about $70 a day. That's the floor. If you can do more, do more. We have agents that spend $30 a month. We have agents that spend hundreds of dollars a month. Now, for private health specifically, cost per lead typically lands somewhere in the $15 to $40 range. Of course, things can change. It can be cheaper. It can be more expensive. Lead form versus landing page, disqualifications you may have, how dialed in the campaign is. This all affects lead costs. That number runs higher in the first few weeks because the algorithm is still learning your account. It comes down to how things optimize. Heads up, if your account is brand new, Facebook caps your spend for the first 3 weeks or so, usually at $350 a week. Essentially, they need about $1,000 in ad spend before they're willing to give you a little more budget to play with. That's a Meta thing. Just plan for it. The point is this: going in thinking $200 gets you 50 leads, you're going to be disappointed. Going in thinking you're investing in a real ad campaign and building a real lead pipeline, you're going to do well. All right, tip number 4, don't get too narrow on your states. Most agents are running national campaigns or multi-state campaigns. We do recommend that. We get it. You're licensed in 3 states. You only want leads from those 3 states. That makes sense on paper. The problem is Meta needs reach to find the right audience. Targeting 1 state or even 2 chokes the algorithm. There's not enough qualified people in a small enough geographic area to keep cost per lead competitive. Our recommendation is at least 5 states. More is better. The wider the net, the more the algorithm has to work with, and the better the cost per lead tends to look. Now, there's always caveats to all of this. We've run campaigns for agents that are running 1 state, and it worked well. These are general principles. Now, plenty of agents aren't licensed in 5 states yet, especially if you're new, and that's fair. It's really cheap to get new licenses, so we recommend doing that versus having lead costs. You're going to pay for it one way or another. You might as well get the lead costs. There's no perfect answer, but the takeaway is simple. The smaller the target area, the more expensive the leads. That's just how the math works, again, generally speaking. Tip number 5, and this might be the most important one of the 5, be patient. There you go. That's all you need. Be patient. So here's what we see all the time. Agent launches ads. Day 1, leads come in and they're a little expensive. Day 3, things slow down. Day 5, the agent panics, kills the campaign, walks away saying ads don't work. We've heard this story more times than we can count. Meta's algorithm needs about 2 or 3 weeks just to exit the learning phase. Then it needs another month or 2 to really hit its stride. We tell every agent we onboard, plan to commit at least 90 days. Not because of any contract, but because that's just how long it takes for a campaign to truly optimize. It also doesn't mean that you're going to get a bunch of bad leads for 90 days, but accounts often season with time. The algorithm learns what's working well for you and gets feedback, so your lead quality and consistency grows over time. The first 2 weeks are noisy. Leads might cost more than you want. You might get a bad batch. You might come in from states you're not licensed in or with a wrong number. That's normal. That's part of running real-time advertising at scale. The agents who win are the ones who don't flinch in week 1. They keep feeding the algorithm. They keep refining their follow-up process. And by month 2 or 3, cost per lead has dropped and close rates have climbed. Invariably, the agents that we've seen running their same campaigns for the longest are doing the best and have the most consistent results. If 90 days isn't realistic, don't start. That's an honest piece of advice. You'll burn money and you'll convince yourself ads don't work when really you just didn't give them the runway that they needed. So those are the 5. Qualify the right people. Test everything. Be realistic about budget. Don't get too narrow on states and be patient. You can absolutely take those 5 tips and go run your own ads. Plenty of agents do. I don't talk about creatives in this video because it's so easy with AI now to spin up the creatives to test what you want to test. But if you're sitting there thinking that sounds like a lot, you're not wrong. Running your own ads is a real skill. It takes time to learn Meta's platform, time to write copy that converts, time to build creative, time to set up landing pages, time to manage daily optimization. Most agents we talk to want to be selling insurance, not learning Facebook ads. That's where we come in. What we do is we can run your ads for you. But here's the catch. We run them into your account with your name and your information on them. You get the benefits of a professional team behind the scenes without losing the thing that makes self-run ads work in the first place, which is that the leads are exclusive to you and the brand is yours. We handle the setup, the creative, the launch, the daily optimization, the testing, all of it. You get full transparency into how your leads are being generated, what's being offered, and you never have to guess if your leads are being resold because they're not. They're your leads coming from your account. We even handle the video editing if you want to make your own videos to post as ads. Like we said at the beginning, we manage over $120,000 a month right now in ad spend across multiple IMO FMOs. And the reason that number keeps growing is because the model works. The agent stays in control, we do the heavy lifting, They get to focus on what actually makes them money, which is selling insurance. If any of this resonates, we have our link in the description below. We'll walk you through how it works, what it costs, and whether it's a fit for what you're trying to build. No pressure either way. If you do want to run your own ads, subscribe to the channel for future videos on running ads for insurance. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.